Good afternoon, St Dunstans. It's Mr Armstrong here, and I'm going to be taking over the reins for this week's screen-free fitness, and I'm going to be taking over coordination. I'm going to set you off on a challenge straight away. I know that Mr Gow finished off with one at the end of last week, but I'm going to set you off on a skill. I found it quite difficult to think of something that everyone has access to in their house, but it requires high levels of coordination. I'm then going to have a beat the teacher activity on Wednesday. The skill that I want you to go away and practice and take on, essentially as a challenge, is that of juggling. I learned it when I was about 12 years old, and it also runs from the theme of last week also as well, of resilience. For some of you it might take 10 minutes, for some of you it might take 10 days, for some of you it might take a month. But if you show persistence with it, I'm sure we'll have lots of students being able to juggle at the end of all this. So, in terms of items that you can use to juggle, I am going to have to use some limes today. I haven't got any juggling balls in my house. Just moved house, I haven't got any tennis balls either. If you want to use either of those, that's absolutely fine. If you've got some rolled up socks as well, they could be used as juggling balls. But obviously juggling balls are the best. You can get them on Amazon or eBay, they're really cheap anyway, so they're a good item to use as practicing. Before we start, we're not going to move on to 3 balls, we're just going to use 2 to begin with. We're going to make sure that our throwing is accurate, or the catching should come relatively naturally if you're making sure that your throwing is accurate. Okay? The way we're going to be operating, and something for you to remember, we're going to be working in a rectangle, and that rectangle is going to go from here to here to here to here. The balls are always going to be hitting 2 corners which I've placed roughly around here. I don't want the balls going off in any different direction. I don't want them flying around here. That's where I need to make sure that my balls are accurate with my throws. Okay. As well, I'm going to be catching the balls down here at either side. I'm not going to be out in front or up high or any wide. Everything's just going to be here in front of me. Okay. So, stage 1 is we are going to be juggling with 2 balls. I'm going to throw this ball to this top corner here. As this ball is reaching this top corner, this ball is going to leave my hand and reach to that corner. So it's going to be a 1-2, that simple. So I'm going to make sure that my throws are accurate and I'm catching the balls down here as well. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Notice now my throws are relatively accurate. Okay, everything is out in front of me, and as that first ball reaches the top, the next one is about to go up into the air. I need to make sure that that is completely sorted before I move on to stage 2. So come back to me once you've finished that first stage. Okay, we should have finished our first phase now, where we've been juggling with 2 balls, making sure that our throws are accurate. Remember, again, we're sort of working in that rectangle and we're catching down here at the sides. Now then, we're going to start using 3 balls. I'm going to start with 2 in my right hand, and the final ball is here in my left. I'm going to throw this first ball, followed by the second ball, and then the third ball, which is down here, just at the bottom of my palm. The principle will stay the same. I let go of the following ball once this first ball reaches the corner of that rectangle that we've been talking about, okay, which we're always working in. I don't want to have the rectangle too small, because otherwise the chances of the balls hitting each other at the bottom is much greater, so it's sort of technical there, quite close in. And then as well, if I have the balls going higher and wider, again, there's more room for error. And I've got my eyes up, so I can't use my peripheral vision as well. So I can't still see the balls down here as well. So this time we're going to go 3 times. It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to stop. I'm not going to carry on. So, 2 balls in the right hand. If you're left-handed, you want to start on the left, that's absolutely fine. I'm right-handed, I much prefer starting over here. So it's going to go 1, 2, and then 3, this final ball here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and that's it. I'm going to finish now with this left-hand side. I'm going to transfer back and start that process again. 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3. Finished. Going to go back. 1, 2, 3. So notice again, paying real attention, that this ball doesn't leave my hands until it's sort of just reaching its peak here and then about to drop back down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So, we're now moving on to that second phase. This will take a while for students to practice, and what you will find is that this third ball here will sort of venture out ahead of you because you're concentrating so much on those first catches, and your catches will be here. So this third ball will probably end up in this region over here. We don't want that. As soon as you start to move around, it becomes very difficult. You're backtracking. So you've completed phase 1 with 2 balls. 2 balls, yeah. And now I want you to move on to that second phase. Those 3. 1, 2, 3. If you want to make that box a little bit bigger, that's absolutely fine. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so come back to me once you finish phase 2, and then we're essentially going to be